for more. This evening, I have a unique woman of
Mhm.
God in this place, Miss Monique.
Yes,
Monique,
yes, Monique.
you are unique.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Pastor. You're rhyming. You're rhyming. You're a rapper too. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Unique. Monique. Sister
Yes.
Monique, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing well. Blessed and highly favored. And thank you so much for having me tonight. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a great blessing to have you here in the Real Life Times radio. And, I really want to take this time to say thank you. Thank you for your passion.
Thank you.
Thank you for your vision, your aspiration, your inspiration, and your motivation. You're always motivating us, and I thank you for that.
I
And
appreciate that.
like Scripture said, where there is no vision in the city, that the people perish.
Hmm.
And you are a true visionary, and I thank you for your vision. And
Thank you so much.
I can see you, every day. You know, you know, OVIA. OVIA. That's what I see.
Doing work. OVIA.
OVIA. That means Operation
Mm-hmm.
Vision
Vision.
in Action.
Action. All right. I like that. OVIA. I have to remember that. All right. Operation Vision in Action. That's true because a lot of people may have the vision. They start something but don't follow through. And my passion, well, my family's from Barbados and from Jamaica. So we have something in common. So I
Yeah,
had the
man.
best of both worlds. And you know how
Wow.
we work hard,
Yeah.
being a daughter of immigrant Caribbean parents. You have to
Yeah.
make do with what you
Jamaica.
have.
So you can say Wagwan?
Yes, what I got. Yes. Yes, yes. I'm
Yeah,
mad
man.
enough.
Yeah, man. Enough respect.
Yes,
True.
yes. Yeah, so my mother's from Barbados, so my house
Okay.
was like being in Barbados.
Mm.
46 Church in Snyder. So
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
washing your hand, clothes by hand, scrub board until I went to school
Yeah.
and people have washing machines. I'm like, where this come from? We have to wash by hand. So my grandmother made sure we understood what it was to
Yeah.
work hard,
Wow.
work for everything, and whatever you have, you make do.
Oh, praise
So,
God.
and also find solutions. So, where there's issues and concerns, my
Mm.
grandmother was good at finding solutions. So, my
Wow.
mom was a single mom. She worked 3 and 4 jobs on public
Mm.
assistance, trying to make ends meet. So, my grandparents raised
Wow.
me.
Wow.
So, I was raised by the village. So,
Mm.
my teacher took me to church. My neighbors walked me to school.
Wow.
Um, so we had everybody together working together in one
Yeah.
unison to make sure I am who I am today. And that's why I do what I do because
Wow.
this community made me who I am
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
So you want to continue.
Wow.
I want to continue giving back to that
Yeah.
community, and that's why I created an organization
Wow.
called East Rappers Village Inc. Because we didn't have a lot of resources growing up,
True.
and we were parentified.
Yeah.
At 16 years old, I remember paying rent. At 18, helping mother pay mortgage,
Wow.
and watching my little sister.
Mm.
At 13 years old, while she had to do what she had to do. So a lot of kids are in that situation. So I figure my husband and I co-founded an organization about 13 years ago,
Mm.
where we can give the kids and the community and the youth, the whole entire family structure, holistically resources
Wow.
to fill in the gap where
Mm.
parents may fall short or family fall short because they got to work. They
Yes.
may not have the resources.
Hmm.
We come here from our home country for a better life.
Yeah.
And sometimes those dreams, the American dream, is delayed or it's a
Yes.
nightmare.
True.
And we do our best with what we have. So
True.
that's all I know is how to work with what I have,
Mm.
make it work, find solutions, and move forward.
Wow. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. That's so amazing, And I heard you said something like earlier, like, you remember me when you was going to the
Yes,
school?
I went to my 11 junior high school, so I used to work from 46 Church. We walk straight up Church Avenue.
Oh
Past you,
man.
we hear you in Utica in church. Everybody's know who's that
Ooh.
Jamaican pastor. Like so, everybody know with a truck until we learn who you
Wow.
were and what's your name. So growing up as a teenager, or even before I was a teenager, we knew of
Wow.
you and what you was doing in the community.
Oh
So
man.
thank you for what you've been doing and blessing these corners out here.
Yeah.
Because in essence, you created a safe hallway for all of us. So
Wow.
I would like to think that part of my memories, fondest memory growing up, is definitely clergy,
Mhm.
being at that foundation.
Yeah.
So my family, my actually my uncle was a pastor. He passed away
Oh,
on
so sorry for the
Ebenezer.
loss.
Thank you so much, Ebenezer Missionary Baptist Church, right there on Kings Highway Avenue D. So that's where we
Okay.
played. Like how I see the kids in here playing
Mm-hmm.
at your
Mm-hmm.
church. That's where we knew. Then I will go to school, and I will Utica Church. There go
Mm.
clergy, got church going
Yeah,
on
yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
naturally, that was my foundation. When
Wow.
everything else failed, I went to Bible camp. That was our foundation. I made sure I went to church. I made
Wow.
sure the church van picked me up. So
Nice.
that was when you don't have your father growing up and you have a lot of questions and
Mm-hmm.
you feel there's no hope. My hope was going to church, the
Wow.
word, my pastor, and that's where I was able to get through. So right now I'm a chaplain. So right
Oh.
after, yeah, I
Ah,
made sure I
amazing.
became a chaplain, just move into my spiritual guidance where I need to be. I have my
Yes.
pastor Charles Galbraith who
Okay.
helped me spiritually as well, my
Mm-hmm.
mentor, my coach.
Nice,
And
nice.
that is what ground us.
Yeah.
That's what ground me.
When I grow up, I want to be just like you.
I want to be just like you. It was a big deal for us.
Oh,
I'm
nice,
passing
nice.
you on the
Yeah.
streets. He's talking about you all the
Oh,
time.
yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
everybody
yeah,
used to
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about you.
Wow, wow,
So yeah,
wow.
this is a foundation, and a lot of in the black and brown communities, religion, clergy. That's our base. That's what we go to when everything else seems like it's gonna fail.
Hmm.
We know we have that on our side, God on our side. So
Nicely.
I thank you for your service and what you
Wow.
have done to the community.
Yeah.
Being in the streets,
In the
right?
street. Yeah.
From we do an Occupy the Corner 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. You're out there.
True, true,
Funerals, you're out there.
true, true,
Riots, we're
true,
out there together. I
true,
remember
true.
pulling you and Pastor Monroe's out and Jamani Williams at the time
Yes,
on
yes.
Utica Church and
Yeah.
making
Council
sure we was
member.
all yes, we
Yeah,
was
yeah,
out
yeah.
there on the streets. So the what I'm always amazed about you and what I did know from day one it was church without the walls, right? So
Yes.
that concept I know it was rooted in your work.
Correct.
Being on the street, that was not really something that we saw or
True.
heard of back then.
No.
But you did started that on the streets. That
Yes.
you
Yeah.
occupied technically you was occupying Utica Church
Oh yeah.
for
Oh yeah. Oh
years
yeah. For
before we had
years.
the formal occupy the corner and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what you
Yeah.
did,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you created a lot of foundation for a lot of people in the community and
True.
resources. So you take all of what you see growing up. People are impressionable by what they see in their environment,
True.
and they
True.
become that. So I
Yeah.
like to think give you a hand in that too. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am who I am because of you too, because
Yeah.
I saw that growing up.
Yeah. And a young guy, you know, he told me the other day. He said, "Oh man, Reverend, I think he's about, 22, 23." He said, "Man, I'm of course one of those,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
youngster
yeah.
guy."
Oh, mhm.
He said, "Man, Reverend, you're our dog." I said, "Oh, really?" He said, "Yeah, man. I remember, man, when my mom pushing me in the stroller to Bobby's, man.
Yes,
You on the corner.
yes, going to Bobby's. That's
Yeah,
a big
yeah,
deal.
yeah. But over all these years, something had struck me a couple of months ago when a guy, because the Friday evening I was pulling the truck up in the
Mhm.
90s, right? Clarkson,
Yes.
around the area. It was Friday evening. And the Saturday morning, I pull up the truck at Utica Church. So while I'm there hooking up the wire and the speaker, connecting up, this guy just come over and said, "Yo, like that, are you pass up with that truck last night?" I said, "Yeah, man." It was in the morning. And him say, "Yo, it's why I don't stop." So I say, why you say that? He said, when I pass up a Clarkson last night, he said something was about to go down. He was gonna kill three guys.
Mm,
And the three of them was gonna kill him. And he said,
wow.
I passed with the truck just in time, and something just have a hole on him, and he's alive
Oh, wow. Praise the
today
Lord.
because the truck passed by. And him
Praise the
say,
Lord.
"Yo, it's what I do, just don't stop." So then I call him and say, "Yo, so come let me do a prayer for you. He said, "No, man, me cool. Thank you, thank you." And him just
Yeah.
walk back up towards
Yeah.
51st. So sometimes, we out there, people may just think that, oh, the guy just out there. But when it comes to, like real, you know, violence prevention,
Yes.
and I've seen, even a baptizer guy. The first time I hear they talk about OGs,
Mm-hmm.
this guy, you know, and they said he was an OG. Well, he said he was an OG, And I said, what is that? He said, original,
Gangster.
gangs,
Yes.
yeah. So really, but I baptized the guy, man.
Mm.
Yeah, you know what I
Because
mean?
we
And
are, that's somebody's son. That's
yeah,
somebody's family.
yeah,
We're not born criminals. We're not born to gangs. Our situation, our circumstances
yeah,
lead us in that direction. It's
true.
sometimes hard to get out. Like
Yeah,
I talk about, I do a lot, as you know, with reducing gun violence in the community for well
true.
over 15 years
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
Occupy the Corner, doing preventive measures. We
Yes,
organizing funerals where we speaking
true,
to the families.
true.
And a lot of people, like I said, well, especially when you come back, when you come here from another country
Mm-hmm.
and you're trying to get your immigration status together, it gets delayed. You have to do any job that you can do, the sleeping
True,
job. You have
true,
to leave your family, your kids. You don't have
true,
family here that can support you with childcare.
true.
And then you have to go and watch somebody's kids for three
Mm-hmm.
nights or 4 nights a week, and your kids are left unattended while you're taking care of somebody else's home.
True,
And you're doing the best you can. And then, a lot of us, unfortunately, having raised by single moms,
true.
the older brothers, right? The gang
Mm-hmm.
members see you and
Yeah,
they come and help you out. Come, my little brother, let me take care of you. Let me buy you some clothes or what
true,
have you.
true,
And you're
true,
looking for that family.
true, true.
So that gang serves as a family for us. So
Yes,
we have to provide something else for these youth where
true,
we give them the family and the security where their parents don't have to struggle, where they don't feel like they have to, at 13 years old, try to go and make some money to help pay the rent. The rent is very high.
true.
We're insecure when it comes to housing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not affordable housing. So when we look at the layers of gun violence and layers of why people enter gangs, you have to look at what's happening. The
Yeah,
trigger is pulled, and I always say, my sister Aisha Sekou always says that the trigger was pulled when we didn't have proper affordable housing in our
true,
community. The
true,
trigger is pulled when we don't have childcare,
true,
when we have food insecurities,
true,
because now your back is against the wall. You got to do what you got to do to make a living.
true.
And especially with young men, they don't want to see their parents struggle, their mom
Mm-mm.
struggle, and
True,
they feel I'm the man in the house because now they've been parentified and
true.
they have to bring in an income. And at 12 and 13 years old, you can't bring in an income legally.
No,
And then when you get in that life, it's hard to get out.
hard.
So people are not trying to go out there looking for gangs. They're not
True,
trying to do
true,
something criminal,
true.
but it's a way of life.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we need to, in leadership, have to make sure we provide proper opportunities. You can't say, I'm gonna give you $15 an hour and that's gonna be enough to survive.
True.
These guys, when I speak to them on the streets, good guys. These are our accountants, our lawyers, our doctors. They're
Mm-hmm.
very smart,
Very
but
smart.
they had to start from somewhere. We
True,
have to give them something else and provide resources and provide the proper job opportunities. That helps reduce gun violence, and
true.
that will make our community better.
Yeah,
And making sure when it comes to immigration, we have to make sure those services is really available
true.
and not too complicated. And
Mm-hmm.
we make sure the immigrant Caribbean community has built our community up
True,
on their
true,
backs. During the
true,
pandemic, most of them are the frontline workers,
true,
right?
true.
Most of them are in these
Yeah,
jobs where they could not take off during the
mm-hmm.
pandemic.
That is
So
true.
our right and what we should and may definitely need to pay attention to is making sure that they can live, love,
Mm-hmm.
and laugh like the rest of us, and
True,
not feel less than or isolated because they may not have their citizenship together, their paperwork. We need to help in that process. So that's something definitely I definitely look closely to make sure that we bolster that and make sure that we make that really tangible and
mm-hmm.
available for our community members. We shouldn't have to dig and find. It shouldn't be this hard
True.
to
So,
get
so,
through.
so upon that note,
Hmm.
I know you're so passionate about the community,
Yes.
and so what are you saying? Are you considering to run for an office, or are you want our listeners to know that yes, I am running, and I'm gonna be what, the mayor, the assemblywoman, congresswoman, or what?
So what?
Tell us, tell
Okay,
us.
so I also work for Assemblymember Nick Perry,
I know that.
and something big just happened. He just got confirmed to be the next U.S.
Oh,
ambassador to Jamaica. And what's
wow.
big about that and history making about that is he's the first person ever to be born in Jamaica to
Hmm.
represent as a U.S. ambassador to Jamaica. So he's making
Wow.
history as a black man. So that's big. And once he leaves,
Wow.
he endorsed me to replace him. So currently,
Ooh.
I'm running to replace Assemblymember Nick Perry in District 58 in New York State Assembly. So I'm a
Congratulations.
candidate. Thank you so
Wow.
much. I
Wow.
appreciate that.
Congratulations.
And I'm
Wow.
glad to have earned his endorsement with several
Wow.
others in this community. He was the first person, my mentor, I will say this. I remember years ago, I went to a community center. So I came to the assembly member office. I walked up the block and I said, I want a community center. He was like, you got to go to community board 17 meeting. And then he always encouraged me to get involved, and I started organizing block associations, and I started my daycare. When I had my first child, I didn't like what I saw on the streets with daycares. I didn't like the way the community looked. So I found a solution. I started a 24-hour daycare. I worked
Mm.
7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I know if I'm going through that trying to find childcare, others are going through it. So I did that. And then I evolved to a nonprofit organization to holistically take care of the whole entire family. So I
Wow.
met the same member during that time,
Mm.
and he was able to guide me through that way. So he's seen the progression for me coming in as eager, wanting to help, organizing block associations, starting a small business, a daycare, then going to
Wow.
a nonprofit. I work with Councilmember Jamani Williams and still organizing the community. I'm a healthcare worker. I work for Test and Trace full time.
Oh, wow.
So I'm a mother of four.
Mm.
I've been married over 20 years.
Really?
Chaplain, I was a coach, educator.
Oh,
So all those
wow.
things combined have given me the breadth of knowledge I need to move the community forward. You
Wow.
know, that foundation. And
Wow.
it takes the community, us working together, our partnership and relationships to really move it forward. So I'm blessed to have supporters like yourself, mentors like a sub member, and so much others that will help guide me through the way. But
Mm.
I need prayer and I need support. I need people to come out and vote. I need volunteers, fundraising to make this happen because
Wow.
I care about the people. The power is in the people, not in a title.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And you know what? I always see you out there in the street. You're
Yes,
always
on
doing
these
it.
streets, in these
Yeah,
streets. Yes.
you're on the street, you're in the street, you're across the
Thank you.
street, you're up the
And you're in these
street,
streets
you're down
too,
the street.
down the block. Yes.
So I really, commend you
Thank you
for
so much.
your passion
Thank you.
and your gift.
Thank you.
It makes room for you, and it is your gift that is going to bring you before great men.
Thank you.
And you know, I released Deuteronomy 28, upon you, and he said, if you hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord your God, and to observe and
Mm.
do that which he has commanded you to do, that the blessings will come and it will overtake you, and blessed shall you be in the city.
Mm.
Blessed shall you be up in Albany.
Yeah.
Blessed shall you be when you are going out and when you are coming in. And whatsoever you do with your hands, it shall be blessed, and your store basket shall be blessed. So I thank you
Oh,
for
thank you so
being
much.
here in the real life times. And anytime I see you outside, you're my friend. You're my friend in the church. As I said, I respect you, I honor you, I love you.
Thank you so much. I love you
And
too.
as you know, everybody around town love the Reverend. And the
Yes.
Reverend, the Reverend job is to
We
love
love you.
everybody.
Yes, yes.
Right?
But it's also really great when we work side by side in the streets,
Yeah.
and to see you as a child growing up and to
Hmm.
be able to be with you as well
Yeah.
doing the work.
Yeah.
So I thank you for your contribution to the community.
Yeah.
And as I often say, you can like a lot of people, but then I always tell people, just watch what people do. They could
True.
say a lot of things, but the action, what would they do in 5 years from now,
Hmm.
10 years from now,
True.
before they say they want to run for office?
True.
And I like to pride myself to know that I'm that person. I've been out here in the streets, in
Hmm.
the struggle, bringing resources directly to our community members
Yeah.
in real time,
True.
and not for a season,
True.
just constantly doing that. So I ran for office before, and I didn't win the seat, but I won the knowledge
Wow.
and how to move forward in the community.
Wow.
So for
Right.
me, I'm not the title, I'm a child of God.
Hmm.
Highest title you could ever have. So
Amen.
the title's not what matters to me, it's helping the people.
Helping the
I
people.
needed someone to help me when I was younger. And
Nice.
it took a village. And I want to create that same environment to
Wow.
move the community forward.
Nice.
And I know I can do that.
Yeah.
And when I go, when you vote for a person, or you vote, that's one person named there, but we represent 120,000 people in this district. And I hold that to my heart. When
Wow.
I sleep at night, I need to know that our community is best represented. I did
Mhm.
the best I can. So the
Amazing.
power is in the people, and I will do my best to push the community forward in the name of Jesus.
Amen. I love
Amen.
that. Ooh.
Thank you.
Yeah, it sounds like a preacher.
Oh, my future job, right? In the
Hello,
future.
Bishop. You sound like a preacher over here, right? You sound like a
That's my
preacher,
friend,
right?
Minister Chris in the house.
Minister Chris. Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yes.
Minister Chris, you really look Chris, Yeah, man. So, but we thank you again
Thank you
for
so much
what
for
you're
having me.
doing, and and we're looking forward to continue to work, with you and alongside with you. And
Thank you.
again, as I said, you know, I love everybody. I love the Democrats. I love the Republicans. I love the Jews. I love the Gentiles. I remember when we're going to the White House to pray, and a lot of people said, Pastor, y'all go pray for Donald Trump?
I remember us having this conversation. Yes.
You're right.
And you
And some
said,
people
yeah.
said, no, don't go, don't go. But then I said, boy, I don't like some of what he's doing. But then the Lord said, if I regard iniquity in my heart,
Mm-hmm.
he will not hear my prayer. So should I have iniquity in my heart against a brother or a sister? No. And even my enemies, the Lord said, don't get rid of them. Because what? He's going to prepare a table before
For you.
you. Where?
In the presence of my enemy. Exactly. And actually, he needs more prayer than if anybody need prayer, it was him. He needs
Yeah.
as much prayer as possible
Yeah.
to guide him.
So what I learned in, like back in the islands, them say, listen, when you feed some people, yeah, and they bite your finger, some people say, don't feed them again, because they bite off your finger.
Yes.
Well, my thing is, keep on feeding them. But
That's it.
next time, use a long spoon.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Amen. It's true. I always tell people that you say you always help people and people don't always. I say I'm not doing it for them to recognize me, right?
Right.
And even if somebody doesn't do something you like, come with an open mind and heart and just continue doing. Because I'm not going to change who I am.
That's it.
I'll be more careful, more
Yeah.
cautious, like you said,
Yeah.
more wiser.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to change who I am.
No,
I'm going
you
to do my
can't.
best to help the community.
You have to.
And that's all I focus on. I can't focus on your reaction to my help.
True.
But I gave what I had in my heart because it
True.
comes from here in my passion.
And you know what? A true leader does not only care about the people who are in their environment or in their surrounding.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a true leader, even though you are in your political zone, political arena, that is not saying that if somebody live in the Bronx, you're gonna turn your back and said,
no.
"Oh, you know what I mean." If somebody in Jersey and they said, "Oh, mom, I'm hungry," what are you gonna tell them? Oh no, you're not in my
No, not
ear.
at all.
So when a true leader, you will help the person wherever they are,
Exactly.
and that is what Christ's love did for us. He
Yes.
teaches us to love thy neighbor. And who is that neighbor? That neighbor is not just the person that sits beside you. Your neighbor could be an immigrant who just come in,
Exactly.
who are not a citizen.
Exactly.
They can't vote.
Exactly. But you still help them
You
because
have to help them.
my mother was that immigrant. My grandmother was that immigrant. My
Yeah.
father, your family, that is your family.
Yeah,
And if someone didn't help me, where would we be today?
here we
If
go.
they didn't help my grandmother when she got here, she migrated from Barbados with her 8 kids.
Here we go. 8.
Where would we been? Yes.
Here we go.
Yes.
You
And made
know.
a better life. Was able to become a homeowner.
Mm,
So we
Yeah.
came here, we fought through it.
yeah.
And you have to look at it, put yourself in that person's shoes.
Yes.
And
yes.
that person could be you,
True.
could be your family, someone you
True.
love. So when we take that perspective, when we do anything,
Mhm.
life will be much easier for a lot of people. So
Much
we
easier.
need to just come together and make sure that we understand that any one of us is a moment away from being homeless,
True.
having a mental health break or crisis,
True.
and anything can happen.
Anything.
So that's why we need to just help uplift each other.
Yeah.
And give each other grace.
True.
Don't always assume the worst
No.
first.
Yeah. Grace.
Somebody doesn't call you back, maybe they were busy.
True.
So
Like
you just
that.
have to take things in stride, and that's how I live my life.
Well, you know what? I think you gotta come and preach that sermon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because everybody. Okay. Pastor always said, "I call you right back." Hold. I don't know if you ever get that from me. Hold on. you know, I call you right back.
And I'll keep on calling
Oh
you until I
man.
get you.
And some people said, "Hey,
Well, what I
Pastor."
explain to people is this is how I look at it. Everybody has a lot going on. But if
True,
it's my priority, I make it my business to be at the forefront of your mind.
true,
So I'm not stalking you, but I will call you. If I really need you, I will
true,
continue calling you
true,
because I understand we're busy. And it doesn't mean that you don't want to answer me,
true,
but I understand the load you have. So if I could help you lighten your load by reminding you
true.
about something I need,
Yeah, yeah,
that's my
that's it.
responsibility. So I
That's
take that responsibility as my own
yeah,
to
remind
remind
me,
you.
remind
And
me.
that's why I said give each other grace. You don't
Yeah,
know what people are going through. And
true.
sometimes, past, I know you were going through a lot. You had a fire and you were still out there helping people.
Yeah,
And people kind of forgot that you had the fire and you were still
true.
trying to look for a home
Yeah,
and you were still helping people. So I
true.
remember those days that you have done that
Yeah,
and you continue doing that. Like you
yeah,
suffer in silence at times.
true,
And people need to understand and give each other grace. So you not calling me back will never upset me. I know where you at. I know
true,
where to find you
true.
and I know how to get to you.
And as you
So
say about the fire, I remember doing the
mhm,
press conference in Utica, you know, and all the elected officials, everybody were
mhm,
there, and a lot of clergy and everybody were there, and you know, everybody see and where the reverend needed help, and up till today,
mhm.
I can't remember um a politician or elected officials that said, "Reverend, here is some help." Never. But I remember Eric Adams, and I always said, "Remember the time he was our president. He was the only person
Mm,
that I remember till today
yeah.
that said,
What do you need?
I am going to give a $5,000 check from my personal account for information that lead to an
Oh
arrest."
yes, I remember that.
Remember
Yes,
that?
yes, I remember
The
that.
only person that made that promise. And, and then the police department, they had put up a 2,000 to it. That's 7,000. It's still up. I hope you remember. But it's still there.
Hmm.
And, I mean, that fire was like just swept under the rug. If it was like a synagogue or a mosque, oh boy, it wouldn't be like that. So, I mean, I've been through it all,
Yeah.
through the fire, and we're still, pushing our way. I just said we never stop.
Yes.
This church here, where we are here,
Hmm.
we're leasing, but this was like a ram in the ticket. God just provided about this spot for us to lease. But during the COVID, we have never closed this place one day and said, "Oh, we are closed because of Corona." Never. And we out there always doing the mask, doing the thing, out there giving the food pantry, and
Yes.
we feed hundreds and hundreds of people. But
Yes.
we're not here to talk about what I do, but we're here to talk about what you do.
Yes.
Because tonight is your night,
Yes.
and I really want to thank you again
Thank
for
you.
your leadership and what you're doing. And I'm here,
I
just
appreciate that.
call me,
Yes.
if the needs arise and
Oh,
whatever that I
definitely.
can do,
Look for your
just
expertise. Yes.
come and preach a sermon one Sunday.
And make sure. We'll see. We'll see.
All
And
right.
and I know you definitely will hold me accountable. We want to make sure resources is spread evenly,
Yeah,
no matter your race, your background, your religion. We want to make sure everybody is treated equally
equally. Yeah,
and get the resources that they need and there's no inequities. So you're definitely right that you want to make sure that that doesn't happen.
correctly.
So it's definitely good to engage the community to figure out how we can move forward in that same energy. So
Yeah,
I look forward for your guidance and your
yeah,
expertise. And I know you in the community will definitely hold me accountable, and any elected official should be holding
that is
accountable.
correct. That is
But
correct.
election coming up June 28th.
June 28th.
Yes, June
Wow.
28th. And
Wow,
we'll
June
see if
28th.
there's a special. But it's Monique Chandler Waterman. I've been in the community. I've been here for you.
Wow.
I'm your neighbor. I'm your friend. I'm your
Yes.
sister. I'm your mother.
Amen.
I am here in this community. I'm not going anywhere. And I love my
I
community.
see that.
And I could have
See
left the
that.
community, but I stayed in this community because this
True.
community helped me be who I am today.
That's the
So
truth.
vote your heart. Vote for the person that's been there, not just moved into the community, been here for 41 years, born and
Wow.
raised right here in
Ooh,
East Flatbush.
I love it.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Miss Monique Waterman, Amen. And she's a stalwart in the community. Real Lifetimes Radio, reallifetimesnews.com. So I know how you feel about us. This is just before you go. How you feel about us going to the White House, Mr. Monique? We have been going there to pray for um, since 24 years. I know you're a big supporter. What would you say to the nation right now about prayer, and how would you say about us going to the White House and the ellipse to pray,
Well,
especially with what happening now?
it's a lot going on. I just appreciate your consistency. No matter what's going on, you stay and you
Mhm.
the course and you continue praying. Like you said, no matter which party the person's from, you pray for them. When there's no hope, that's what we have to look forward to prayer, God, and you bring that forward. And that helps us heal as a community. And that's how we normally come together. When there's nothing else we could do during slavery, during everything, what do we have? We have prayer, we have religion.
Yes,
And that's what is what's to take. No matter how much they say politics and religion don't mix.
you're right. True, true.
At that time, that's what's needed. There's a lot going on today. There's
Mhm.
always a lot going on, and your prayer helps to, even like you said, even if it's one person,
Mm.
continue to do what you're doing. I really appreciate it, and it helps so many. Like that young man you said that was about to shoot somebody and didn't do it because you pray. You don't know what's in people's heart, but your prayer heals, saves, and delivers. So I really definitely appreciate what you're doing and continue doing it. And I'm very impressed by how you continually do what you do with no money. At
True,
times you make it happen,
true.
and that is definitely going to pay off.
Wonderful.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Love you.
Love you
As
too.
always. Real Lifetimes Radio. RealLifetimesNews.com. Don't forget to download the app in the Google Play. The Byways and Edges app. I'm telling you.
When me feel empty, you fill me up. When me feel broken, you take me up. And when me feel down, you turn me around. That is the reason I can sing this song. Me begging, I want the whole world to see. I'll sing this song to you daily. You make me feel so good, better than anybody else could. You make me feel good, yeah, better than I felt before. So good, so good. I just wanna love you more. Make me feel.
Yes, thank you, Sister Monique Waterman. I'm telling you, Real Lifetimes Radio, RealLifetimesNews.com. Text a friend and tweet a friend. Tell them to just log in into the Real Lifetimes Radio.